If you don't have a plan to spend your money is going to have a plan to be spent by itself, and it's going to go somewhere. What's up, YouTube? I am Shanika Lawrence. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. If you are new here, then welcome. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I have so much more in store for you guys. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about creating a budget for your finances. And this is super duper important, especially today, because we're facing so many increases in all kind of areas. And regardless of if you want it or not, your monies are being affected. Inflation is eating up everything that we're making. I mean, literally in so many different ways. As of today, May 2022, inflation has increased to an all-time high of 8.5%. Just in February of this year, inflation was at 7.9%. It's already increased nearly an entire percentage in 3 months. I mean, come on, that is a really huge jump that we have seen. Our gas is high, our food is high, everything that we buy, supplies are high, even clothes, they're high. Everything is just so high now. The best way to combat this is not only preparation, but to create a plan that's going to be foolproof against all of this increase in goods that we're seeing every day. So what is a budget anyway, or budgeting? Budgeting is the process of creating a plan to spend your money. And you may be like, why do I need a plan to spend my money? Well, because if you don't have a plan to spend your money, you're just gonna spend it any kind of way. You're gonna find out at the end of the month that you've got less money than you expected, and that maybe you have been overspending over time. And so today what I want to do is just give you 3 ways to help you build a budget. And I think these ways are going to be really helpful because, again, it'll help us to cut down on the spending that we have been, constantly cycling ourselves in. So the first thing that we want to do when we're trying to create a budget plan for our finances is we want to do a brief overview of your expenses and your income. Your expenses versus your income. It's kind of like organizing your finances in a way that you can really see it. Now, I know that there are some, apps and different programs that you can use, and they'll kind of help you to put all of those things right in front of you. I think there's an app called Truebill. It'll kind of let you pull from your banking account, and it'll ask you to put all of that information in so that they can pull and show you exactly where your money is going. And I think that something like this might be important because we don't always know exactly where our money is going, especially if we have, these automatic accounts. We have like these subscriptions every month. Sometimes those things are just like constantly taking money out of our account, and until you see it on paper, like, oh, this is how much I'm spending on this, you will really like reassess all of your finances. So I think that this is like the number one step that you should do when you're building it. You gotta know, how much am I making? Okay, you have to really sit down and overview how much of your money that you have. What is your income? And then you have to compare that to your expenses. What are you spending every month? Where is your money going? Not only how much are you spending total, but then where is your money going? How much of your monies are going to what category? Entertainment, bills, to subscriptions, to, shopping. You got to know that. I've heard a saying that said, if your money doesn't have a destination, then, it's going to be lost. So you really have to know where your money is going. If it has a destination, then it'll be more purpose in that area, and then you can really include that in your expenses. But if you don't know that, then again, it's just going to get lost out in thin air. The purpose for us building this is because we want to take a look at our income and our expenses and make sure that we are not at the end of the month spending over how much we are getting, so that, at the end of the month, we have a negative balance. And this is not, what we want. Number 2, the next step to building your budgeting plan would be to pare where possible. And I'm using the term pare, P-A-R-E, which is like cutting down or making smaller. So basically finding those places in your bills or in your expenses that you are spending every month that could be cut down. So for your overall bills, of course we got to have like car insurance and, phone bills and, cable and things like that. However, some of those, like car insurance, you can actually shop around every so often. I've heard that you should actually shop around for car insurance every 2 years because there's a possibility that you could be overspending on your car insurance. So different things like that, just checking out, okay, well, I'm paying a lot for my cable every month. How can I take down maybe the programs that we're watching every month? Because half the time, most people don't really watch cable. I don't know about everybody, but I know for us, you know, that was a place where I could pare because I realized that we don't even really watch TV. Like we may watch movies, but we don't watch TV, so there's no need for us all to have different channels in every room. There's just no point of that. So I think that when you pair and look at places where you can remove from your expenses, then this is the next strategy that you can use to build your budget. And number 3, I think the last but very important thing that we should do to help us build our budgeting is to address our spending habits. Address those habits, guys. Address those things that you know you overspend on. So like shopping, if you are a shopaholic, if you are always having to buy some shoes or some clothes or just like any gadgets or anything like that, you always buying those things, then you really got to kind of like, okay, you know, I do shop a little bit extra. I do buy too many shoes. I do have enough clothes. I don't really got to buy that this month. I don't really have to, you know, buy that until I get enough, you know, money. If we fail to address where we overspend, then we're going to always overspend. We're going to always buy those things to satisfy our desires at the time. And, you know, we don't think about the long game, you know, just having enough money for later on. And that's one of the things about, you know, budgeting overall. Outside of these 3 things to help you build your budget is that, you know, you want to have enough money to kind of put aside for emergency. You know, you want to have enough money to have when things happen. You might have your car break down, your tires bust. You might have like some weird natural disaster to happen, like a tree falling on your house or something like that. And a lot of times your insurance are paying for these things, but you have to come out of pocket with a deductible. And are you gonna have the money for that? You know, so just different things like that. If you are, you know, if you're looking at your income and your expenses and they're very equal, then your goal is to build a gap there. You want to decrease your expenses and you want to increase your income. That's going to be key when you're building your budget, but you have to see it first. If you don't see it, then you won't know how much more you need to make. You won't know how much less that you want to spend every month. And then when you address your spending habits, you're able to say, this is not important. This is not flow into my budgeting or my spending plan. If you don't have a plan to spend your money is gonna have a plan to be spent by itself and it's gonna go somewhere. You know, I think our money management, it really shows God how much we are able to handle, like in our daily lives. Like if we are frivolous with our money, we're always spending and we're not putting it in the right places, you know, we're not giving to the poor, things like that, then, you know, it shows him that we are not able to manage our money. And so why would he want to give us more money like this, that we can just continue to throw away? We see this in a parable that was in Matthew chapter 25 when he gave the talents, right? And so when he gave the smallest talent, that talent wasn't used, it was buried in the ground. And so because of that, he took that thing that he had given him, he took it away because he's like, you are actually called him evil and wicked. You're evil and wicked because you're too lazy to get up and actually double back or to manage this thing that I had given you. And listen, we are not going to be lazy people. We're not going to be lazy believers. We're not going to be lazy anything. We're going to manage our money. We're going to learn to budget our money the right way. And hey, listen, I've got a video that talks about the preparation that we should have, not just for now, but also the preparation that we should be implementing for our futures, for retirement. And I think that's so important. So I'm going to leave a link somewhere below or beside me, but check that out. And guys, don't stop budgeting. Don't stop working on your budgeting plan. You know, when you get to a comfortable spot, always reassess where you are. Continue to, you know, build and grow and just to make very wise decisions concerning your finances so that you can, you know, have the capacity to have more. But all right, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys, and I will see you guys very soon in the next video. Bye.